Once again, welcome to August. I can't believe it's August already, but here we are, August How We Serve session. And I see some familiar faces, so I know a lot of you have been here before, and thank you for coming back. And we have four, full slate today. We have 4 departments that are going to be sharing with us about what they do. So if this is your first time, any first timers here? Let's see, okay. Got one? Okay. So what you can expect today, Darlene, this is just for you. You're going to listen to presentations. We have the Lifelong Learning Center with Karen Kalivas, partnerships with Michelle Tejas and Alicia Martindale. Our M&O department, we'll be hearing from Steve Frio. And the community development, we have 2 speakers, Elizabeth Colfay and Chester Brown. So what you're going to see is how Rio's parts work together. We are a systems college, and all the parts do work together, and you're going to see that as our presenters share with you what they do and the departments that they impact. And then you can taste the fabulous food at the Rio Cafe with your free cafe card when you leave. So if you have not gotten that yet, see Carol in the back when you leave. What your speakers expect. They took time to put together what they feel you should know about what they do. So what they're going to expect from you is your full attention. So please, if you need to take a phone call or something emergency thing is happening in your department, please do that out in the hallway, because we would like our speakers to have your full attention. And they're learning something new from what they have to say today. And we also expect you to have some fun. So I always like fun. I think that's important. So there again, there's several steps to the Rio Way. A lot of you were at our meet and greet in January. We will be having another one coming up in January. We do that once a year, where you will have an opportunity to meet the president and the vice presidents, hear from them, and then have some time to chat with them one-on-one. The new employee orientation, which I just showed you, is on the portal under our culture. So if you have not done that yet, it doesn't take a lot of time. Please do that. The How We Serve session is where you're at right now, and you can do this step in concurrently with other pieces of this. So the How We Serve sessions, we are asking that you attend 6 out of 12 that we offer in a year, and that also, if you can't, very shortly we will have on our portal the videotapes of what you're seeing today. And so our speakers we do ask them to stay within a very short range, so you won't see them walking around the room, because for videotaping reasons they need to stay here and be stationary. Once you have completed the new employee orientation, we will invite you to the Rio Way pre-work as we have sections open up, and that's about 16 weeks of lessons that are in the Rio Learn, and gives you an opportunity to learn Rio Learn if you haven't been in that, because a lot of our students that you work with are in Rio Learn, so it helps give you that Rio Learn experience. Then we have the 3-day in-person training. We have one coming up in September, and we have one coming up in December. We have 4 already on the schedule for next year. So I would guess most of you will be attending the 3-day next year, or possibly in December if you're in the pre-work. And then we have a post-work session, because I know people come to the 3-day and they're all excited thinking they're done, but no, wait, there's more. And that would be our post-work. And it really is just a culmination of what have you learned. So and that's really quick. We give you 8 weeks, but it doesn't take that long to complete. So then we have graduation. Once again, our president and vice presidents come, as well as your supervisor will be invited, and we celebrate with some goodies and give you an opportunity to share, if you like, some of the things that you've learned on your Rio path to the Rio Way. So that there again, where are you? What step are you on? If you haven't done the orientation yet, that's something I would suggest. Get it done. It's quick and fairly easy, and then you'll be getting email invites on the rest of the activities. All right. Let's see. When you complete the NEO, then we have a learning rewards and recognition plaque, and you'll get your L for icon for learning when you've completed the NEO. So there again, the 6 sessions. You can either do it by attending in person, viewing sessions on SharePoint when they're there, or a combination. So gives you several options. So basically, that's it. If you have questions, please, check with me after this. Our sessions are over here. Our speakers have completed what they have to say, and we'll be glad to help you with any questions you might have. So we will be having our 4 more departments next month. So welcome, and what I'd like to do now is get started with our speakers. And our first speaker came the longest way, so if we had a prize for the longest distance, it would be Karen, who's here with us from Lifelong Learning Center. So welcome, and come tell us about the Lifelong Learning Center.
Okay, let's welcome her.
Come a long way.
Let's see. Well, good morning. Welcome to Rio. I'd like to talk to you about a little bit about the Lifelong Learning Center, also known as the LLC. My name is Karen. I joined the Rio team about 2.5 years ago, and I have the privilege of being the office coordinator at the Lifelong Learning Center. And the Lifelong Learning Center is a 14,500 square foot building. And we're not. Okay. A little bit of background. The Rio Salado Lifelong Learning Center was established in 1996 with funds from the Maricopa Community College's bond campaign. It was expanded in 2007 with proceeds from the 2004 bond. What we do, we have a very busy location. We offer non-credit classes and programs. We have adult basic education. We have GEDs. We do adult continuing education. Janita Landrum is at our location several days a week. We also have ELA, or English Language Acquisition for Adults. We offer community education classes. That's pretty much through our RISE program. We also have for our students in our community the computer lab and the testing center. Our ABE, GED, ACE, and ELA students, we had served 700 students last fiscal year. We anticipate to be serving close to 900 students in this coming year. We have many community partners. We are very close with them. We work very actively with them. Our largest partner is Benevilla. We also work with the City of Surprise, AARP, the American Association of University Women, West Valley Symphony, and the Community for All Ages. West Valley Symphony is gracious enough to attend our location 3 times a year. They do community symphonies and orchestras. They teach a class in the morning. The attendees are allowed to have lunch with musicians. They enjoy that. And then they have a musical performance. And that's open to the community. We also have AARP visiting our facility several times a year. We had Attorney General Tom Horn most recently. He did a presentation on consumer public safety. Our internal customers, we are gracious enough to have Jenny Hirschcraft from the Maricopa Community College's Small Business Development Center on our location a couple of days a week. We have M&O. We have very strong ties with M&O, being we are 39 miles from here in Tempe. So we rely heavily, thank you, Steve, for coming out this morning, on M&O. We work quite closely with Jason Reish and also Ian Burnett in information services. We deal closely with Rose Smith and also Peggy Meltzer in business services for P-card and accounts payable and so forth. And of course, human resources helps us staff our locations. And we have Brenda Friedman, who is the RISE coordinator, and she's the RISE Learning for Life. Speaking of RISE, RISE is very active on our campus. RISE is an important community partner. It's one of the largest student associations in the Maricopa Community College's district. They're a very vibrant, active group. Most of their ages range from 60 to 95. Their membership last year was close to 1,200. RISE offers almost 300 enrichment classes, and the wonderful thing about RISE is their presenters or their instructors are all volunteers. They are not paid. They do it because they love to learn. They're very vibrant. They like to share their information. Our location, we are just south of Bell Road in Surprise. We are about 10 miles west of the 101 and 6 miles east of the 303. Here's our contact information. Dr. Todd Alkas, he's the director of the Community Partnership Programs at the Lifelong Learning Center. He also serves as the director of the Community Partnership Programs at the Community University. The Community University is about 3 miles away from us, so we're kind of close. Beverly Ray is instructional specialist for ABE. Brenda Friedman, as I mentioned, is our RISE coordinator, and I am the office coordinator there. What's new? Wow, we are growing. We are growing tremendously. RISE has grown tremendously after the last 7 years. RISE total attendance in classes and community events last year exceeded 16,000 people. So it is extremely busy. Often you cannot find a parking spot. The testing center, due to all of this growth, we've decided to move the testing center from our location at the Lifelong Learning Center over to the Community University. This will give us some vacated space. With this space, we hope to acquire some additional classrooms, a conference room, and some offices. Okay, the Lifelong Learning Center, customer astonishment. The Lifelong Learning Center is an award-winning location. In 2007, we received the Best of the West Award for higher education. In 2009, we received the Best of the West for for community service. We work very closely, as I mentioned, with our partners. We have Benevilla, who is located just behind us. We also have Bert's Bistro, which is a part of Benevilla. We have the Community for All Ages also behind us, and we have very active ties with all of the community. There is actually a path leading from the front of our parking lot, through our building, out to the back door, and it goes past Benevilla, who specializes in human services and elder care and child care, past Bert's Bistro for our food service, past a mural created by the Community for All Ages, and into a community garden, and then into a park we've built in collaboration with the City of Surprise. So we kind of hit all of the human services area. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle Tejas, and this is Alicia Martindale, and we're here to talk about partnerships. And what does partnerships do? Partnerships proactively seeks out a couple different areas. There's 3 main areas. The first one is educational service partnerships. It's also known throughout the college as ESP. And an educational service partnership is a partnership that we've formed with an organization where we've evaluated their training curriculum, determined that it meets the criteria for college credit. So as they're going through that training, they can earn college credit with Rio at the same time. They can then utilize this credit towards various certificate and degree programs. The second main area is our customized non-credit contract training, and this is where a business has a need or they'd like to offer a certain training for a group of their employees. We'll work with that organization and coordinate and offer that training with expert facilitation. Some examples of this include customized non-credit conversational Spanish. It can include customer service training, business writing. And then the third main area is the credit classes and our online cohorts. So if there's a business that would like to have a credit class either on site or online for a group of its employees, we'll coordinate and get that set up for them. This could be a one-time business need, or it could be a continuing cohort. Right now we have a cohort with the City of Tempe. So they started off working towards the Certificate of Completion in Public Administration, and then now they've moved on to the degree program. So they started with a couple hybrid classes, and then now they've transitioned to the online format. So those are our 3 main areas of partnerships. We support and maintain all 3 of these areas through professional customer service, and that entails the entire partnership team. We also work on creating customized certificate and degree programs. So for our educational service partnerships, right now we have 22 customized programs, certificate programs, and several different degree programs that are exclusive to this group of employees.
And one thing that Michelle didn't say when we introduced ourselves, or sort of introduced ourselves, is that we've actually been able to work together for almost 15 years now. So we're quite the team.
There you go.
It's great to work with. So we have many different customers. We have external customers and internal customers. Our external customers with our partnerships that Michelle just mentioned, just a few of them would be U.S. Airways is our longest standing partnership that we've had. We also have an educational partnership with Cox Communications and also USAA. Those are just three of the many different partnerships that we have. Also, our external customers are our students. We go to classrooms anywhere from 5 students to 60 students and actually give presentations on Rio Salado College. Excuse me. And then also, we're out in the community all the time. We do a lot with all of the non-credit, working with different businesses, and so the community is also our external customers. Internally, we work a lot with faculty services. They help us to certify our instructors for our different partnerships. We work with enrollment services. They enroll all the students that we have fill out applications at these different partners. And the faculty are very important with each of our disciplines that we work with. And additional Rio departments that we are close with, we work a lot with financial aid also, and we work with course support. So a lot of different departments that we couldn't do what we do without all the support that we have here internally. And so we enjoy working with all the different departments that we have an opportunity to. We're also, where we're located is off in the Hohokam building towards the back by the kitchen, just around the corner to the right. So if you ever feel like coming in and saying hello, we'd love to have you. It's a tiny little space, and we love visitors. So
please come.
And in the afternoon, sometimes we have treats. So.
Okay, so our main contacts, the partnership team, we do have a smaller team. There's 7 of us on the team. We listed some of the main contacts. The first one listed there is Alicia Martindale. She's our corporate and government partner liaison. So any student or instructor related questions in regards to our educational service partnerships, she would be the main point of contact. As part of our educational service partnerships, we also partner with various law enforcement agencies throughout the Valley. So Sylvia Anderson is our law enforcement partner liaison. And then Susan Lawrence, she's over our sales and non-credit contract training. And then any operational or just general questions would be directed towards me. And then what's new in partnerships? Part of our job is just to continually seek out new partnerships, work to expand existing partnerships, continue to increase our customized non-credit contract training, and create additional certificate programs. And so just some recent examples of that. Macy's has been an educational service partner of ours for about 6 or 7 years now. They previously had 2 training tracks that we evaluated and converted into college credit, and we recently evaluated 3 more of their training tracks and converted those areas. So it's just additional Macy's employees that can earn college credit as they're going through that training. A certificate example is AAA. We have an existing certificate in automobile insurance customer service, and we were able to evaluate their auto insurance servicing area and determined that it met the criteria for this particular certificate. So not only do those employees that are going through that training earn the college credit, they can also receive the certificate in addition to that. And then just an example of a new customized non-credit training client that we have is Freeport McMoran, and we'll be offering a conversational Spanish class for them in September. Another new development in our area is through our partnership with CODA, which is the Correctional Officers Training Academy held in Tucson. They've been a long-standing partner of ours, and through that partnership, we've recently found out that corrections employees, in order for them to advance in that field, they need to have a degree program. So we're working with that partner to see how we can further promote our Associates of Applied Science and Corrections degree, and then we've also established a degree pathway with NAU so that they can earn a bachelor's degree as well. So that's another new development in our area.
And I should also mention that in the last fiscal year, we actually enrolled 4,800 students in our Educational Service Partnership program. So quite a significant amount of students that we're able to talk to and encourage to go on and get their degree. And one such example, in one of our partnerships with the Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System, otherwise known as ACCESS, there was a student in that class many years ago who received college credit for her training. And that gave her the incentive that she needed to go on and take additional classes. And so she was working toward her certificate of completion in public administration. Her name is Mikkel Rudnick. And then after that, she worked toward getting her Associate of Applied Science degree in public administration. And along the way, we helped her and supported her and gave her the tools necessary to help her, successfully reach her goals as a student. And then actually last year, she was our commencement speaker at graduation, actually in May. So this goes to show you that the students that we interact with, they do take additional classes with us and move on and get certificates and degrees through us. And we love to be able to support them through that process. It's what makes us want to come to work every day. So we really enjoy being here, and we appreciate being able to share with you what we do.
Thank you.
My name is Steve Frio. I'm lead utility worker with the M&O department, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our department. Our department entails fixing, repairing any sort of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, office remodels, HVC, locks and keys, just about everything. We also perform preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance. We do scheduled maintenance on weekly and monthly basis on a lot of items at the college to keep the college operating as smooth and efficient as possible at all times. We use the work order system for that. All emergencies are taken care of as priorities. All work orders are taken care of as soon as possible and in a timely manner. Internal customers are our main customers. We want our customers to have a realistic expectation on our workflow, priorities, and timelines to provide them with the best customer service possible. Priorities do come first, except the emergencies. We do also deal with outside vendors as well. We strive to take care of every customer to the best of our ability. Customers put in a work order and we perform the task as soon as possible. We want our customers to feel confident. And that all their needs will be met and done as soon as possible. Help us help you. So the more detail you can give us when you need something done, the better on your work orders. Anything you can include on it will always help us. You are our valued customers, and we strive to perform excellent customer service. Our new location, which is going to be across the street here from the CC building. Oh, I just passed it up. Which is going to be 1325 right across the street. We're going to be on the far end. But for right now, we're still located on the 6th floor until we make our initial move. Our department phone number is 480-517-8200. For emergencies and all other concerns, just call us and let us know. And then just put in your help desk request for your needs and wants. We are customer orientated. We always adhere to Rio's mission with great accuracies and efficiency. what's new in our department? Our department has grown to supply the demands and wants of our customers. We have a lot to accomplish in the years to come. As far as all the new sites we have coming online too, so we're constantly going to be busy. So you're just going to have to bear with us, and we'll get to you as soon as possible whenever we can too. So, but we will get to you. Here's some examples of astonishments that we've done for our internal customers. Like we did the brick walls up here on the second floor and the first floor of the Hohokam. The pillar here we did too. But all this stuff we did in-house, which saved the college a whole lot of money. And we'll continue to keep doing that. Then we can use those monies somewhere else. The water feature we also redid. Our goal is to astonish our customers always. So please fill out your help desk feedback forms to let us know if we're doing good, bad. Give us some feedback. Let us know. Anything will help us to do a better job, to serve you better. And that's it.
Morning. So Chester and I are going to share about Northern, but just for those of you that might not be aware, within the community development structure, we have 3 Director of Community Partnerships. That includes me, Todd Aukus, and Miranda Lopez, and each one of us oversees multiple sites. So I oversee the Northern location, as well as our downtown location, which will be a subsequent presentation, which is at 7th Avenue and Fillmore downtown, as well as Orangewood, which is our a partnership we've had with the Orangewood Community Church, which is over off of 27th Avenue in Orangewood between Glendale and Northern. So it's about 2 miles from our Northern facility.
So we are located at 1715 West Northern Avenue. People usually say 19th and Northern, and I always get lost when people say that. Our hours of operation are from 8 to 9, Monday to Thursday, Friday 8 to 5, and then the contact number is straight up. Usually people will pick up the phone on the 3rd ring. That is our goal. And we have the ancillary locations as well. Paradise Valley Community College, Deer Valley Community Center. That is a fee-based center, so our students that go there for the classes have to pay a fee. And Glendale Community College as well as Don Mintz and Dick.
And we mention those because we have adult basic ed students at every single one of those locations, and several of them are actually very large locations. Northern has about 435 adult basic ed students right now. Orangewood has close to 300, and Don Mezendick and GCC are all between 200 to 300 students as well. So they're very large centers, even though they're not actually Rio-owned facilities. Please know that we have a very large number of students that are there.
So the Northern facility is 35,000 square feet of fun. We basically moved from the Paradise Valley Mall into the Northern location, and we provide in-person classes as well as hybrid classes, and basically to anyone who comes into the location, into the campus, we basically provide services to college students as well as to our GED and ABE students as well.
A misnomer for years is that our centers out in the community have only been for adult basic ed students, and we're really trying to get our college to get away from that, as well as make sure the community understands that They're not just adult basic ed centers. We have post-secondary students that are using the centers. And now as we move forward, even like with our tutoring services, Ernestine Harrison, as she's hiring tutors, they're not only for our adult basic ed population that we have on campus, but also for our online students where, say, if you lived in the West Valley, Northern might actually be a lot more convenient for you to stop in for tutoring services than to come all the way to Tempe. This is a little bit of our organizational structure. And like I said, we have 3 directors of community partnerships, and I oversee 2 of the locations plus Orangewood. And then at each one of our centers moving forward, we have a site coordinator. So Chester's the site coordinator for Northern. Downtown, his equivalent is Kate Packer, and some of you, Kate's been with the college for a while, you might know who Kate is. And then we also have instructional specialists now at each one of our locations. And the instructional specialist is our manager at Northern. It's Michael Benvin right now. He's also responsible for Orangewood because I'm still vacant an instructional specialist position. But they're tasked with actually the day-to-day operations of our adult basic ed programming. And then the site coordinators oversee the larger center and everything that happens there. And then we also have lead instructors at each one of our locations. And you're going to see 4 lead instructors up there for Northern. I have 2 that are officially out of Northern full-time, being Daphne and Nicole. And then Nick Tambakaris is actually one of our lead instructors. He shares his time over at Orangewood. He teaches for us at one of those ancillary locations, Paradise Valley Community College, and a class at Northern. And then Melinda Brasher, she's in charge of our new grant program that we have, which we'll talk about in a minute, which is TET, which is Transforming Education Through Technology. And she shares her time between our Northern location and also one of our Surprise locations. I'll speak to this. Basically, the whole idea of all of our locations is that they're educational empowerment zones. And this is a quote from Dr. Rufus Glasper, our chancellor, and how he envisioned what these centers would be. And Rio really picked up on what his vision was for empowerment zones. And that's the reason we've gone out into the community, opened up these centers, purchased facilities, because we want to make sure that everyone in the community feels like they have access. And one of the ways we can do that is by having the centers to be able to bring in those students. This just kind of gives you an idea of the reach that community development has at this point. And this map, as of a couple of weeks ago, needs to be updated because a few of those that are shaded coming soon. The Thomas location actually opened officially. Like I said, that's where Miranda Lopez is actually physically located out of now. Spot 127 is the new partnership with the radio station next door for the youth and the media project. So this kind of shows you the reach that we have across community development of where all of our locations are.
Education and community partners. You partner up with the Arizona Department of Education. They provide us the grant funds to provide the ABE classes as well as the general education development classes, along with the ELA classes, English language for adults acquisition. And we also provide a dental assisting technology with WestMect. We partner with the City of Phoenix through our Workforce Connection, Arizona Dental Association, and Northern Community Advisory Committee. And our offerings, we have Adult ACE, which is Adults Achieving a College Education. That's a hybrid class where they're in ABE classes as well as college classes. Adult Basic Education, Adult Secondary Education, we have a group of students who are in high school but are in Adult Basic Ed, but they're in the secondary position instead of the basic education position. And then we have the English language acquisition for adults, the dental assisting technology with the IBEST as well as WestMect, and the Arizona Department of Education. We have a GED tester that comes out there on Tuesdays and Fridays. We also have a computer lab. and a testing center. So this is where we interface with college students who are Rio Salado College students as they come in. They might take their tests at the testing center, and they might also come in and use the computer lab for basically studying and getting online. We also have post-secondary offerings. We provide a resource to EDU classes for child development, a child development certificate. They meet there every 2 weeks, starting in this month, and will go on until December. So for student services, we have a counselor there, a career counselor, Amberly Levesque Brown. Program advisors, we have Elena Mantus and Troy Friedman, as well as Patty Blanco with the Adult ACE program. Tutoring, we have Jerry. And then our success coaches are Jeannie Christian, Joyce Edwards, and Mary Gertis.
This just gives you kind of an inside look to our facility. This is the first floor of Northern. The second floor, which I listed as Phase 3, which is scheduled to open in January of 2013, will be coming. And you can see on this picture, too, that there's at the bottom, there's some empty location, as well as up at the top. We had some tenants in the building that 2 of them have moved out, and one that'll scheduled to move out in the next couple of years. So when they officially move out, we'll still have about another 7,000 square feet that we can have for renovation and expansion at the Northern facility. And Chester came on board last year, right in time for the Arizona Department of Education to tell us that we were awarded 4 grants that we applied for. So on top of everything else he was learning, he got to learn about all 4 new grants, and we decided that Northern was actually going to be a pilot location for all of them. So it's a real testament to Chester that he's still standing here today after the year he's been through. IBES stands for Integrated Basic Skills, or Basic Education Skills Training. Basically what we do in that program is we combine a GED class along with an occupational certificate. So right now we have dental assisting. So our students are really working on getting their GED while they're co-enrolled in the dental assisting curriculum. TET is Transforming Education Through Technology. This is another grant we received from the Department of Ed, where we actually gave students who are in these specific adult basic ed classes a netbook that they're able to check out. And they use an online GED platform called Plato, not like the Play-Doh you play with, it's Plato, that they go in, that they actually don't have to come to class 2 nights a week, they only come to class 1 night a week, and then they're able to be in the online portion of it throughout the week. We have a College and Career Pathways grant, which allows us to implement our STAR Path model. We also have a civics grant that actually started with our Ellis students, where we're going into the classroom and we're teaching them about history. They've actually done a field trip where they went down to the museum down at the Capitol to learn more about the Arizona history. So the students have really loved that. And then the TAA-CCCT grant, which we just commonly refer to as the TAA grant, is a very large $2.7 million grant that we received from the Department of Labor. Some of you may know Mary Bryden. She works in our area, and Mary is actually heading up that grant with Yvonne Lawrence as her second in command. It's an animal of a grant, really truly is. The Department of Labor, it was something new for them, and they kind of keep changing everything and how they want it to operate. So we're getting ready to move forward with that grant in October. Northern's going to be a pilot location as well as the new Thomas location. And then STAR Path. STAR Path is actually our new model of how we're going to provide adult basic ed. And it stands for Successful, Talented Adults at Rio, Practice Analytics, Technology, and Help. Before in our GED program, we used to do large-scale orientations, and we weren't able to have those orientations except for every couple of months because we'd bring in 100 students at a time. We realized that the biggest challenge for most of our adult basic ed students is just to walk in our door for services. So when they come in and tell us that they want to be in a GED class, I don't want to have to tell them that they're going to be on a waiting list for the next 2 months. So StarPath actually allows us to bring them in and we put them through what we call a student success seminar. It's 8 hours in length and it gives them some of the foundations that they need to be successful in any class that they're going to take at Rio Salado College. It teaches them things like time management, how to take notes, how to work with their instructor if they're having issues. And it's been very successful. So Northern's been a pilot. We're actually going to pilot it next at Thomas as a part of the TAA grant, but then we're developing a rollout schedule for all of our other locations. StarPath is actually allowing us as well to bring our students, our adult basic ed students, into the main Rio Salado system, our SIS systems. For years, our adult basic ed students never had MEIDs or student IDs. They were kind of just separate, and we're really trying to integrate adult basic ed with the rest of the college. So all of the students at Northern at this point are official Rio Salado College students with MEIDs and student IDs.
In addition, we also provide work keys and key train, which is basically a career kind of informational type system where they can choose a career and they can click on what they need to do to get that certificate or a degree. So that's available online as well to our students who are at the location.
And this just shows you what our model looks like in terms of StarPath. Basically, the idea is some national best practices that we need to have multiple entry and exit spots for our students so that they can come in and that they can go off, and that we get them on a pathway. So for years, we just talked to the students about, yes, come in, we'll help you get your GED. And our focus has really changed in community development, that it's not just about getting their GED, it's about trying to get them on a career path. So what's next after your GED? What other programs at Rio Salado or within our sister colleges can we get you in line with so that we can help you improve your career?
GED testing basically happens on Tuesday, as I mentioned before, from 12:30 to 5 p.m. And he takes a dinner break and comes back at 6 and stays there until 9. Fridays from about 8 to noon. And he's really a nice man. Michael Fortin is his name. He comes in with this dolly with all his stuff on it because it's apparently very secretive. They don't want any of that stuff to get out. So he comes over and he does his business, and he moved his location from Paradise Valley Community College to our location on Fridays.
They actually protect the GED exam just like the president has the nuclear football. He's not allowed to not have that exam with him at all times. So he can't even leave it at our location and lock it in a room. He has to have it in his physical control at all time. A couple of years ago, somebody got access to one of the GED tests, and across the state they had to shut down GED testing because it's that important for them to have the integrity of the test protected.
So here's our student data for spring. We had 438 students. Out of that, we had 254 that were in the adult basic education classes. In the secondary, we had 27, and then in the ELA, we had 157. Our educational gains, we made 58. That's for the full ABE department. I think at Northern, we just barely made it at 58. Orangewood had 60. So we were very excited about meeting these educational gains, because it is through these gains that we get funding. Our demographics, age group, we have between 24 and 44 is our highest, 50% there. As far as ethnicity, 51% are Latino, and our highest is females. Females are coming back, going to school. And here are our contact information.
Any questions?
So remember, if you have questions, 74236. Okay?
No. 4235.
Thank you very much.